You have to talk to Nana and Papa about that.
Where's the surprise go?
Where's
Find
the
it.
surprise?
Find
Let's
it.
see. Maybe if we get up on bed, maybe we can find it.
Oh, is that
Let's go
Mason's
look
hint?
up on bed.
It's Mason's hint.
Oh.
Oh.
Put yours down.
The present?
Yeah.
It's all yours. You gonna open it up?
There you go. Okay. Go get it, Mason.
That's it. Tear it right off.
Yeah, look at that.
We're not saving it for next
The
year.
paper matches your snowman pajamas. Oh.
Be very careful. Wait, I thought it was-
like that.
I like Mary Jean's.
He's very
Oh, I
conscientious.
know. I was always careful too.
Okay, that was enough. Enough to be careful. Enough paper on that, huh, Nathan?
Do you want to guess what's inside?
What's in there?
That's too young to guess, right?
Well, the other day, remember when we were all around the tree? And I told him to put a present down? He goes, well, put a present down by the tree. And he goes,
Thomas!
Thomas.
Gosh darn it!
Merry Christmas.
Does John have a copy of that book too?
yeah, he must.
Oh. Johners has the same book?
Oh, Mason, it's How the Grinch Stole Christmas and A Thomas Christmas. Wow.
And
What's the other one?
this one?
What's the other
What
one?
does that one say? Bear stays up for Christmas. Would you like to read those tonight, Mason? Huh? Would you like to read those tonight?
What one do you want to read, Mason?
Which one do you want to read first?
Something tells me he wants to read Thomas.
Yeah.
Mason, which one do you want to read first?
This one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thomas?
Yeah,
All
Thomas.
right. Okay. Right here.
Oh, John!
Nah, I think a few people have done that already.
Yeah, we did it. We do it all the time, but.
Yes. How do I start? Want to go to the other page here, sweetie? Okay. Puff, puff, peep, peep. Snowflakes were just starting to fall as Thomas climbed a steep hill. It was Christmas Eve, and Thomas wanted to be back in his shed with his friends. The engine stockings were going to be hung soon, and Thomas didn't want to miss that. But Thomas was a really useful engine, and he had 3 very important deliveries to make, and they could not wait.
First was a freight car full of food to deliver to the community hall. All of the island of Sodor had been invited to come for a big celebration tomorrow, and there had to be enough food for everyone. When he arrived, there were so many people around to help unload. Everyone was in a jolly mood, and the work went quickly.
Suddenly, there was a shout. Mrs. Kinley had slipped on the snowy walk and dropped a bowl of cranberry sauce. She was not hurt. In fact, she looked very funny covered in sticky red goo from head to toe. She laughed along with everyone else.
When she was back on her feet, She walked over to Thomas and gave him a sticky pat. "Merry Christmas, Thomas," she said, and she went back inside to clean up.
Is Thomas smiling? Yeah. We're done, cried a workman. Off with you, Thomas. You have a lot to do yet. Merry Christmas. Peep, peep, whistled Thomas, and off he went into the gently falling snow.
His next stop was to the big school on the hill. Some of the children were unable to go home for the holidays, and Thomas had many parcels to deliver so that they wouldn't feel lonely. The snow was coming down a little harder, but he still had plenty of time to get back to the engine shed and go to sleep before Father Christmas came.
Mason, did you see the snow?
See the snow fall?
Tell him how snow feels, Mason. How does snow feel?
Cool. When Thomas pulled up near the entrance to the school, some of the teachers came out and helped organize unloading of the packages.
The children were having a snowball fight. Splat! A red-haired boy in a green coat threw a large snowball that hit Thomas right in the side of his boiler. Beep! Thomas laughed.
Think it can be you, Mason, having a snowball fight someday? I'll bet it is.
You were having fun.
Everyone was helping to unload Thomas now, and he waited until the red-haired boy was standing right beside him. Thomas let out a blast of steam. Whoosh! The steam loosened the snow on Thomas's roof, which slid off and landed right on the red-haired boy's head. "You got me, Thomas," laughed the boy.
Thomas is playing with him too, isn't he? Soon he was off again. This delivery was the most important of all. Thomas had presents to bring to the children's hospital in Vickerstown. All of the children were counting on Thomas to make sure that their Christmas was a happy one. The snow was falling much faster now and was starting to get deep in some places. Thomas had to go carefully so as not to get stuck. He kept telling himself, "The children are counting on me, and this will show Father Christmas what a really useful engine I am." Soon Thomas could see the lights of the hospital through the falling snow.
Where's the hospital? You know?
Yeah.
It's the hospital.
Yeah.
As he pulled up, there were children at the windows, cheering his arrival. While the doctors and nurses helped to unload all the parcels, Sir Topham Hatt came out of the hospital and walked right up to Thomas.
"Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt, "I have a very important job for you. There's a little boy with a broken leg who lives in the last house before the tunnel to Ballyhoo. It is snowing too hard for his mother to come get this toy train. I need you to take this up to his house." "Of course," peeped Thomas. "I am a really useful engine. But, sir, my stocking wasn't hung before I left. Father Christmas will forget me." "Nonsense, Thomas," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Father Christmas will be proud of you as I am."
So Thomas headed off again. By now the wind was howling all around him, and there was so much snow blowing it was very hard to see. Thomas, for once, wished he had his snowplow as he moved slowly up the track. Suddenly the wind dropped, and there was no more snow. He had missed the house altogether and had pulled into the tunnel.
He stopped and started rolling slowly backward until he could see the lights of the house next to the tunnel.
Oops. Peep, peep, peep. He whistled again and again, afraid he wouldn't be heard over the wind. At last the boy's mother came. What's that? Yeah. At last the boy's mother came hurrying from the house, tightly wrapped in a long scarf. Thomas could see the boy in the doorway waving. "Thank you, Thomas," he cried. "You are my favorite engine." Then the boy and his mother went back inside and closed the door against the storm. You see the little boy in the house?
Yeah, look, he's on his crutches, isn't
Yeah.
he? And what's that in the tree? Or in the window? What's that in the window? The Christmas tree?
The Christmas tree.
Yeah. Slowly, 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 Thomas made his way home. He worried that Father Christmas might not be able to find the engine shed in the storm. When he finally got back to the shed, it was very late at night. The Christmas tree was still lit, and all of the engine stockings, including Thomas's, hung in a row. Thomas was so tired he was asleep in an instant. He dreamed that he had some presents in his stocking when the morning came.
Where are the stockings, Mason? Right. What's above them? Do you know what's above them? Little candles?
Yeah.
Good morning, Thomas. Merry Christmas, Pete Percy. Thomas woke with a start. He looked down. There was his stocking, and there was a note sticking out of it.
Dear Thomas, thank you for being so kind and helpful. You are a really useful engine. The note wasn't signed, but Thomas thought he knew who it was from. Then he looked in his stocking. It was full to the very top of the very thing he wanted most coal of.
Well, that's it. Did you like the book? You tired?
This is Old Christmas.
Okay.
Oh, the Grinch Stole
Mom and Dad want to
Christmas.
read him this one?
I'll read that one.
Okay. I'll read it.
Do you like the book?
What do you say, Mason, to Nana and Papa for reading to you?
You're welcome, sweetheart.
And they bought you those books. So you need to say thank you for the books, too.
Oh, and it looks like this is a fun one.
Mason,
Dr. Zeus.
Mason. Please say thank you for your present.
Say thank you for the book.
He did.
You can give him a kiss and say thank you.
Mom and Daddy right now.
Give Nana and Papa a kiss.
Oh, that looks so silly. Close the book, though, so you can say thank you and give him a kiss.
Cut.
Say thank you.
Good night, night.
Night, night.
Oh, there you go. Now I heard him.
At least they got that thing, you know. Cut.